Hi, welcome to the second lesson in solving simultaneous equations. Okay, you need to have watched the first lesson because I'm going to be using some of those ideas to go very quickly through this one. Okay, this is modifying simultaneous equations. Okay, so this is the case that I was alluding to in the last one, where if I don't have any numerical coefficients that are the same in the top and the bottom. So let's take a look at an example. Right, e.g. So I've got 3x minus 2y equals negative 19, okay, and 2x plus 4y equals 6. Okay, and they say solve this. Right, now you should be saying, okay, so, right, from the last lesson you said I got to look for variables with the same numerical coefficient, alright? So I look at this and I go 3 and 2, okay, so the x's aren't going to go, and then negative 2 and 4. Alright, so the y's aren't going to go either. What do? It's a very simple thing. Very, very simple thing. What we do is we choose one of them. Now you can choose any one. If you chose the x's, right, what can I make 3 and 2 into? I can make them both into 6. So I could times this whole thing by 2 to make that 6x, and I could times this whole thing by 3 to make that 6x. Then the x's would cancel and I would just be left with the y's. Are you with me? Or I could look at the y's and say, okay, well, what does 2 and 4 both go into? Well, they both go into 4. So I could times this whole thing by 2, make that 4, and I don't have to do anything to that because that's already 4. Are you with me? So in this case, although you could do it with the x's, it's an easier choice just to do it with the y's. Alright. And the thing that I would do with that is I would multiply. Now, this is not exactly 100% correct the way I'm going to write it, because you can't have a multiplication across an equal sign. But it's a cheat, and you're going to understand what I'm doing. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2, because that's going to change that to become 4. So I'm going to do this. That 2, and this is what I mean by not being correct. Can't actually do this across an equal sign, but I'm going to cheat and do it. Okay. So I'm going to multiply that whole thing by 2, and I'm going to rewrite it underneath here. Are you with me with that? I don't want to confuse you too much. I would write it on the side if I had enough space, but now I'm going to write it underneath. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 2y is negative 4y. Be careful of your signs. 2 times negative 19 equals negative 38. Okie dokie. You with me still? Great. Now I've got, 4, fantastic. So now I'm going to use this one, the green one, and the red one. And I'm going to use those two to cancel. Okay, I'm not going to use this top one because he's here. It's a red one. Okay. Now I say to myself, fantastic. Right, which ones am I going to cancel? I'm going to cancel the y's. So what is my alliteration that I've learned? If the signs are the same, I subtract. Right, so that's my alliteration. If the signs are the same, I subtract. So what are the signs? Plus, minus. The signs are different. So if the signs are the same, I subtract. Well, if the signs are different, I must add. You with me? So I'm going to add these two columns. Okay. So 2x plus 6x is 8x. Positive 4 and negative 4. Positive 4 and negative 4. Alright? I give you 4. I take away 4. You got nothing. 0y. Okay. 6 and negative 38. Alright? So if I give you 6 and I take 38 back, how much are you left with? You're left with negative 32. Alright, this might be a little bit tricky if you're trying to do this if you're trying to do this in your head and you're not comfortable with adding and subtracting integers. Okay, you've got to be okay with adding and subtracting integers because this can seriously be asked. If you do non-calculator tests, I would put this in a non-calculator test as a test set to myself. This would definitely go in a non-calc test. Okay. Alright, so now, opposite of times by 8 is divide by 8. X equals negative 32 divided by 8. How much is negative 32 divided by 8? Negative 4. Negative 4. I went back there for a second. So negative 32 divided by 8 is negative 4. You with me? Alright, and then I take this negative 4 and I plonk it back anywhere, wherever you want. Let's put it back into this green one. Okay, you can put it into that one. You can even put it into the red one. Doesn't make a difference. But let's put it into this green one. Why? Just because we can. So I've got 2, and I'm going to replace x with negative 4, right? That's this guy, there. Plus 4y equals 6. And let's tidy this up now. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, plus 4y equals 6. Opposite of minus 8 is plus 8. 4y equals 6 plus 8. So 4y equals 6 plus 8 is 14. 14. Y equals 14 divided by 4 is 3.5. Okay, go and check that. Alright, I rushed there because I was running out of space. So there's my one answer, there's my other answer. Okay, so all that we've really done, the only extra thing we've done on top of normal simultaneous equations is this little bit here, modifying simultaneous equations, okay, to make one of the coefficients look like the one that you want to cancel. Okay, you will sometimes, in really, really hard questions, get asked where none of them can just easily double or triple or something to get to the other. We'll have to modify both equations. Like if I wanted to get rid of the x's here, it's a good, look, if you want to do this, take this one and modify both the x's to try and get rid of the x's and see if you come out with still -4 and 3.5. You should. Okay. If I had to modify the x's, I would times this by 2 and then this one by 3. That would make both x's 6 and then use those two new ones. Okay. But that's about it. Really straightforward. Same sign, subtract. Okay. Alrighty. Well, go practice some more of these. Do what I said. Try a different one where you're modifying the x's. Modify both of them. There's lots of these I'm sure you've got in your textbook. And remember, I'm here for you.